I am so excited to record this episode today because I've been on a world tour of education. I've been up in my financial IQ, and I told y'all the more I know, the more I'll tell. So I just want to tell you everything. Y'all know this channel is telling the truth and nothing but the truth. So I'm going to give you guys an inside scoop of this new mastermind I've joined and what all has it provided to me, what I've been experiencing. And I told y'all, we talking about money all year. So we're talking about money today. So get comfortable, grab your favorite wine, but let's get into the video. It's your girl K650, and I am so excited to share. Let's do it. Y'all know I got to get comfortable when talking to y'all. Let's put this over here. Okay, cool. So, what have I been up to? Like, where do I start? So, let's start from the beginning. Yeah, but good place. So, I went and I joined a mentor or a mastermind, so to say, called Money Is. And I'm not going to lie, and I want to be really transparent about this part before I go in any further about what has happened to me. The mastermind was $15,000. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm still dealing with my trauma with money, right? So I'm a risk taker for sure, but I still have some trauma with money. I shared with you guys before how I I was really scared when I made my first $10,000 in a month. And then I was even more scared when I made $15,000 in a month. It really like stressed me out. Like and some people, they've made way more than that. But for me, where I come from in my background, that was a lot of money. And I was like terrified. Like I didn't know what, I didn't know what the feeling was. So I have a little bit of trauma with money, and I'm working through that. But when we went to this 3-day workshop and it was presented to get into the mastermind, and the mastermind cost $15,000, that trauma kicked in again. I felt that feeling again, right? I couldn't even fathom how I was about to spend $15,000 on anything, right? Let alone like education. And I had a friend that was with me, and the package was a 2-deal thing, so you can split it up. So my half will be 7,500, and she was all in. Like she's like, "Oh, let's do it," and I'm sitting there in complete panic. Right? I'm like 7,500 at one time. I'm an entrepreneur, right? We save money for rainy days, and we was gonna touch the rainy day fund for this, but eventually I didn't let her know I was scared, but I sat there in panic. But I took out my debit card and I scanned it. And on the way home, I was hyperventilating, shedded a couple of tears of that. I couldn't believe I did this. Like, I was like, holy crap. But all in all, I did it, right? And one of the best advice I can tell you guys is do it scared. Do it when you really are terrified, because that's when, to me, the best decisions are made. Every single thing that I've done up until this point in my entrepreneur journey, I've done completely terrified. Moving to Atlanta, scared as hell. Investing into an Airbnb, scared. Starting a business, quitting my job, terrified. Investing into my first mentor, panic. And then this, I'm was like hyperventilating. When I tell you I was like hyperventilating, I was so nervous. But when I tell you guys, it was the best $7,000 I've ever spent. Listen, it was the absolute best. So the first thing that this mentor or mastermind class got me was a better understanding about retirement accounts. So my accountant has been telling me for years to open up a Roth account. And I'm like, how do you even spell Roth, right? Like, what does that even mean? And I was like, I'm not doing anything I don't understand. And that's kind of was my mentality for years about this particular account. Like, I'm not doing anything that I just don't get. So the blessing in this was that this particular mastermind allowed me to go to a literal 2-day workshop learning about retirement accounts, how to move through retirement accounts, what it means to own a retirement account. Like everything that my accountant was trying to tell me, it was broken down to a T. So guess what? 5 days within the new year, your girl got a retirement account. What I've been postponing for years, I finally did because I no longer was scared and I had a better understanding. So that was the first thing that this mastermind got me. And then we went to Empire. Empire is exactly what you're thinking of. It's about how to scale your business and exit your business if you're looking to sell it. Now, I thought I was a business owner, but I realized very quickly I too was just playing business, right? How many of you can honestly say you're just playing business? Um, it was so much that was covered, dived into, but what I took away from it was I was not actually looking at my business with a microscope. I was missing fine details, like how to actually track metric properly, how to see a profit and loss statement. Like I'm not a corporate girly. I didn't come from that. I don't have a background in corporate, so I really don't know a lot about when it comes down to structural work of business, like what it actually means to have certain things in a business. Um, so when I went to Empire, it really gave me a better set of tools to be able to scale to the next level, not by an accident, right? But really strategically grow my business and making sure I'm growing in a healthy way and I'm able to catch errors when they happen. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I saw things happening in my business, but I didn't know why they were happening or what was causing them. So I kind of ignored it sometimes. And getting this new set of tools has really allowed me to not ignore it, to hold myself, my team accountable, and to fix the problem. Um, and that was like for me the golden nugget of where I can find myself to be able to scale to the next level, because you guys know I'm on $1 million journey and I really want to be able to get to $1 million, not off of just playing business or luck. I want to be strategic about it because I want to be able to duplicate myself and I want to be able to tell somebody else this is how I got to $1 million. It's very hard to tell somebody how you got somewhere when you just got there off of luck. But if you have like a roadmap, it makes it a lot easier to teach other people. So that was what I got from this workshop. So I'm just already grateful. I was scared and I went from scared to grateful in the matter of like weeks. Um, so my favorite part is when I went to the mastermind. So I went to the mastermind in Jackson, Florida. And what I thought I was going into learning about money, I got a reality check on life. So I'm going to break this YouTube video up into multiple different series because there's so much I can cover on the topic. But one of the biggest things for me and what left me in tears after that mastermind was the topic of operating, not using your kryptonite, but operating using your superpower. So Andrew Cordell, the one who set up Money Is and just devoted his time and energy teaching others about business and what it means to have a business, went on stage and spoke about how he's been operating and moving his business with his kryptonite, controlling others, basically not necessarily walking in purpose, right? He's been hitting this wall consistently in business because he hasn't been able to figure out what it means to operate with his superpower. My biggest thing was, how do I actually operate in my superpower? And I didn't even realize that I was operating with my kryptonite, right? I didn't realize that I even started a business because of trauma. So as I'm sitting in the audience and listening to him explain how he's been hitting this wall, and the only way he was able to break through the wall and get to the other side is really acting in his true superpower and his purpose and not using his trauma to fuel his business. So I'm sitting there and then reflecting about where I am in my journey. And I have these conversations with my mom often. Mom, I don't think I could get to $1 million because this one thing that is causing conflict in my life, this one thing is what's really hindering me from getting to the next level. And I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. What I realized that my kryptonite was is I started a business because of the trauma I have with both of my parents. One being my mom being in prison is what made me even go to college to become a criminal justice major. What even started the hunger of wanting to learn financial literacy. And then my daddy issues is I got to prove him wrong. Everything I do is like, I got to prove him wrong. I want him to know that I'm great. I want him to know that if I'm able to succeed this, maybe he'll love me. Like, I really go through that day in and day out with myself. And every time I get to a certain height of success, I hit this wall again because I truly haven't forgiven that part of me and I haven't forgiven him. So it makes it very hard for me to get to the next level because every time I get to a certain point in business and in my life, I start reacting with trauma again and I hit this wall. So now we're back at square one. And, so the last like couple months of my life, I've actually been trying to figure out how to get that forgiveness piece because I know once I get to that point, and it was confirmed to me this week, and that once I get past this, that I can stop acting in my kryptonite, can stop acting in the fear, stop acting in the scarcity, stop acting in all the things, and I can actually start letting my superpower free. And just hearing that on the stage and hearing somebody who has multi-million dollar companies say that that was his issue and that's what broke him to the next level, I'm like, I have to do this. Like, this is something that's pivotal in my journey of success. And I know I went to a conference to learn about money, but I realized that in order to achieve money, you have to be willing to do some work from the inside and not act in this world of the kryptonite, and you got to start really utilizing your superpower. And that was like the biggest thing that I took from this conference. So I want to leave you guys with this. Are you acting in your superpower? Or are you using your kryptonite to fuel your business? And are you scared of the truth of what that even means? Because if you're scared of the truth, then you're probably going to keep hitting the same wall I'm hitting until you're willing to deal with the truth, identify the truth, and start acting in your superpower, which is your purpose. And for me, my purpose is way bigger than my kryptonite. My purpose is way bigger than trauma. My purpose is way bigger than all the negative things I've ever went through in life. I know that the moment I tap in my true superpower, I'm going to be untouchable and I'm going to be able to scale bigger than my wildest dreams because I feel like my kryptonite is also limiting my belief of what I can do because I'm still acting in trauma. I'm still scared. So I want to leave you guys with that. What is your superpower and are you truly acting in that superpower? And if you're not, what are you going to do differently this year to actually activate that superpower? And what are some things you're going to deal with? What are some things you're going to be like, I need to go and forgive this person or go reconcile this situation? Like, what does that look like for you? I am going to tell you guys about the money piece of the conference, but I just wanted to start there because that is what touched me the most about the conference, or the mastermind, is I never really realized I was using my kryptonite to fuel my business. And every time I get scared or that trauma shows up again, I start from ground zero and I'm just in this constant loop of trying to achieve success on a high level, but I haven't been able to because there's some issues I got to work through before I get there. So I want to leave you guys with that. I hope this helped you guys. I hope this was an eye opener. I hope this kind of relieved some issues within you of why you feel like you keep hitting this wall in your business, because I know that this weekend set me free. And I have a lot of work to do. And I made this channel to be transparent in my journey, on how I'm going to achieve wealth. And I want my family to look back at me and hang me up on the wall that I left for the family that home that I left, and they look back and say it's because of her, her commitment, her dedication, her aspiration, her resiliency, her will not to give up, why our family has broken the curse. She made it happen. I want them to look at me and know that I had their back, and I'm willing to do all the uncomfortable things that the generations before me weren't able to do, to make sure that I'm the last stop in this curse within our family. I want to be somebody that my family to come is to be proud of, and they know that it's because of her we made it. So I'm willing to do any work necessary. And if that means that I have to deal with some trauma to activate my superpower, I'm willing to do that. So I hope this helped you guys. I'll see you guys on another episode.